Hey girl, it's Ruth, your flexible dieting queen, and today I want to talk to you about your mindset. When it comes to weight loss, when it comes to fat loss, the biggest thing that's going to hold you back, the biggest thing that's going to hold you back from actually achieving your goals and reaching your goals, the biggest thing that is going to cause you to fall off and not stick to something is going to be your mindset about everything when it comes to your weight loss. Literally everything, okay? Let me give you a few examples. Um, I want to talk about food. So let's talk about demonizing food, right? Food is not inherently good or bad, but that's what the media wants us to believe, right? So we see everywhere on social media, on the internet, on TV, on the news that certain foods are good for you and certain foods are bad for you. So we're subconsciously being programmed. You may not see it as this, but subconsciously you're being programmed by this. You're being programmed to believe that if you eat a certain food, you're bad, and if you eat a certain food, you're good. Or if you eat a certain food, you're unhealthy, or if you eat a certain food, you're healthy. So whenever you are eating like Mexican food, or you're eating pizza, or you're eating bread, or you're eating pastries or sweets, you always think that it's bad. And the reason why you think it's bad is because they demonize these types of foods in the media. Like if you watch a movie, like a romantic movie or something like that, any like movie in general, like what do you see? You see women always like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm not eating any carbs," or "Yeah, I'm just limiting myself with the carbs," or "Yeah, I'm just being healthy, so I'm just eating this salad and this piece of chicken." But at the end of the day, those are beliefs that they're making you believe, that they're making you feel like you're a bad person if you eat these things, right? So it's all a mindset thing, okay? So when you're eating food, the best way to approach food is as energy, as fuel for your body. So think of it like this. If you are going a longer distance, if you are doing more with your body, it's like a car, right? If you're going a longer distance, you're going to need more gas, right? So take the same thing with your body. If you're doing more with your body, say you're exercising more as opposed to just like sitting down and doing nothing, then of course you're going to need more energy, okay? So you're going to need more food. But when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to fat loss, the deficit basically is king. So you have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. If you're not in a calorie deficit, you're not going to lose weight no matter what, okay? So when it comes to food, I don't want you to see it as like bad or good or healthy or unhealthy. I want you to see it as less like nutritious food or less nutritious food. So nutrient dense means that the food is more nutritious for your body, meaning you're probably getting more vitamins and minerals that your body needs. Less nutrient dense or less nutritious, it just means that it's probably a little bit more processed. You might not be getting all the vitamins and minerals that you eat, okay? So technically you could lose weight if you're in a calorie deficit and you eat 100% junk food. But the thing with that is, if you eat 100% junk food, then you might not feel the best. So you might have low energy, you might feel lethargic, etc. But it's okay to consume these types of foods in moderation if you have a balance. So if you're eating more nutrient dense food, for the most part, it's going to fix all the issues that you may be having now. If you have low energy, if you feel lethargic, if you just don't feel good, eating more nutrient dense food may help you because you may be lacking in vitamins and minerals. So that's why it's important to like know the difference. It's not about the food is bad for you or it's good for you or it's unhealthy for you or it's healthy. It's more about, is it more nutrient dense? Is it going to provide more nutrients to you? Is it going to make you feel better, etc.? So in this program, Sweet and Salty, you get to eat your sweets and your salty foods as long as it fits your macros, as long as you're still feeling good, as long as you're still getting nutrient dense food. There's no reason why you should cut those types of foods off, because at the end of the day, they taste delicious, and why would you want to do that? Okay? So that's the mindset when it comes to your food. I don't want you to think of food as like good or bad or unhealthy or healthy. I just want you to see food as nutrient dense and maybe not as nutrient dense. Less nutritious, more nutritious. That is it. And when you start labeling your food like that, instead of like this is good for me and this is bad for me, you start feeling better about yourself, because now when you eat a certain type of food, say you eat a pizza, instead of saying like, oh my gosh, this is so bad and unhealthy, like I suck, I'm terrible, like I shouldn't have done that, you're just like, well, this food is maybe less nutrient dense, but it was fucking delicious and I'm gonna enjoy it. And that's that. So at the end of the day, it comes down to your mindset. Okay, it's the way that you believe about food. But trust me, I know it's not easy because for many years, we were fed this bullshit about good or bad food, and it made us feel some type of way when it came to certain foods. So as women, we always feel like we're restricting ourselves or we're depriving ourselves. And as women, that is the first thing that we do. We get rid of these foods that we think that are considered bad, and we get rid of these foods that we think are considered unhealthy. But it doesn't help us because then we feel restricted. And any normal human, any human being in general does not like being restricted. If they tell you not to push the red button and the red button's right in front of you, you're going to feel like pushing the red button more and more and more. So instead of telling yourself I can't eat this and I can't eat that, you could eat that. But just remember that it might not be as nutrient dense, and you might not be it might take up a little bit more of your calories, because that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to keep track of your calories and your macros. So you just got to like pick and choose, like when do you want to, you know, eat less nutritious food? When are you opening that up for you to like just go out on one day and just like eat whatever the heck you want, you know, because that's okay too. At the end of the day, it all just comes down to the mindset of food, the way that you feel about food, and whether something is good or bad, whether something is unhealthy or unhealthy, whether you're sticking to something or you're not, etc., whether you're motivated or not, whether you have self-discipline or not. At the end of the day, it's all about your mindset. So your words are powerful, so is your mind. So if you tell yourself certain things, your mind is going to be like, your mind just takes in the information. Your mind doesn't interpret whether it's something that's going to benefit you or if it's not going to benefit you. Your mind is just like, okay, taking directions, and it's like, aye, aye, captain, whatever you say. So if you tell yourself, like, I'm depriving myself, if you tell yourself that I can't stick to anything, if you tell yourself I'm just not motivated, if you tell yourself I just have no self-discipline, then guess what? Your brain's like, yeah, girl, you don't have self-discipline. Yeah, girl, you are not motivated at all. Like, yeah, I believe you because you're telling me this stuff. So all those things, it comes down to like, is this serving you? Is this type of like thought process serving you? Ask yourself this. If you are a yo-yo dieter, or if you continue to yo-yo diet, I was a yo-yo dieter myself too. Are these thoughts and beliefs about dieting, about restricting yourself, about self-discipline, about motivation, are they serving you, or are they actually holding you back from reaching your goals because you keep telling yourself these things? More than likely, they're holding you back, obviously, because you wouldn't be here in this program, okay? So I believe 100%, like, mindset is at least 99% of the battle. Exercise and nutrition fall into place when you have your mind right. If you don't have your mind right, then you're never going to achieve your weight loss and fat loss goals, because you have to learn to control your mind. You have to learn to control your thoughts, and you have to learn to reframe any thoughts that are not going to serve you when it comes to your weight loss and your fat loss, okay? So, for example, if you say, I'm not very motivated. Well, first of all, motivation is not something that you want to rely on, because most of the time, all of us are never motivated. I can't tell you how many times that I haven't felt like doing anything. Like, I haven't been motivated. But somehow I got my ass up and went to the gym. Somehow I got my ass up and ate something that was a little bit more nutritious so it could fit my macros, you know. I'm not motivated to do this. I'm not motivated to do that. But first and foremost, the thought behind that, you saying I'm not motivated, you're already telling your subconscious, like, this girl is not motivated, so I'm not even going to try to help her. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, motivation is not the best thing that you want to use when it comes to getting shit done, because motivation hardly ever comes when you actually need to get shit done. So you have to retrain yourself and retrain your thoughts and tell yourself, I am a motivated person. I am a motivated person. I am a motivated person. If you're not a motivated person, you got to tell yourself, hey, you know, motivation is not usually the best thing that I could use to get me to do something. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it. You have to train your mind to think this way, because that's how you're going to reach your goals. Because if you're not training your mind to think this way, you're not going to reach your goals. And most of the time, we are not aware of the way that we think, that we just think it's normal. We just think, well, we just go along with it. You know, like, we don't stop and sit down and reflect about it, right? So that's what you have to do. You have to get rid of the beliefs that aren't serving you. So, for example, some beliefs are, I have no self-discipline, I'm not motivated, I've tried everything and nothing works, I feel like I'm way past and I won't be able to lose the weight. Those are all like beliefs that are not serving you, and you got to ask yourself, are these beliefs actually true? No. And when it comes to beliefs too, beliefs are made up. Yeah, like the beliefs that you have about everything in your life is just made up from throughout your life, from the beliefs that your parents taught you, from everything, from what you learned in school, from what you learned in your environment, from what you learned from your friends. At the end of the day, it's not permanent. You could change a belief, you could get a new belief, you could believe other things, okay? So, motivation, don't rely on motivation, but stop telling yourself that you're not a motivated person. You have to do affirmations. Number one, 100%. The only way that your subconscious and your brain starts believing things is through repetition or through some like traumatic emotional event. So most of the time, you're not going to have a traumatic emotional event. So what you want to do for yourself is create these affirmations and repeat them every day, at least 10 times in the morning and 10 times at night, where you're telling yourself, I am so happy and grateful that I'm motivated. I am so happy and grateful that I have self-discipline. I am so happy and grateful that this weight is just falling off for me so easily. Because when you start telling yourself these things, your subconscious starts believing you, and then your subconscious creates that momentum for you so you could keep going, and you won't stop, okay? What else did I want to say? Mindset. 100% mindset is what's either going to hold you back or what's either going to propel you to become the best version of yourself. 100%. If you ain't got your mind right, girl, then you are probably not going to succeed. But there are tools for you to get your mind right, okay? Affirmations through repetition. Do what you need to do to continue doing what you need to do. If you're starting off as not a very motivated person, then this is where accountability comes into play. If you have no self-discipline, if you feel like you just try and you just can't do it, it's because more than likely you kept telling yourself these things that you were actually going to do something like, yeah, tomorrow I'll work out for a month, and then you didn't. So technically you are breaking promises to yourself and you're losing belief in your word. So when that happens, it's very challenging. Yes, I agree 100% to get out of it. So when it comes to this, you have to have the accountability. You have to have your community where you're telling somebody, hey, like this is what I'm going to do. Hold me accountable. And once you start being held accountable by me and by your community and start doing things, that's when you start building momentum. And that is when you start keeping promises to yourself. And then once you start keeping promises to yourself, then you start believing in yourself, and then you start getting more confidence, and then you start feeling better about yourself, and then the motivation comes, and then the self-discipline comes. It just becomes so easy for you. But at the end of the day, if you're not right in your mind, then you are not going to get to where you need to get to. But the great thing about this program is that's part of the program. Mindset, your attitude, and your community and accountability, that is all part of the program. So whenever you feel down or whenever you feel stuck, make sure you reach out to an accountability buddy. Make sure to reach out to me and put affirmations into practice. If you don't do affirmations now, that you want to start doing that, especially when it comes to your motivation and your self-discipline. But at the end of the day, we have to work on your mindset, and you got to get your mind right, because if you don't get your mind right, then it's going to be a little bit more challenging to get to where you need to get to, okay? And the last thing is like, get rid of all the beliefs, all the dieting beliefs, right? Unhealthy, healthy, good, bad, sticking to something, falling off of something. As long as you continue having progress, as long as you see little tiny, it doesn't matter how much progress. It could be 0.5 pounds, 0.2 pounds in a month. Progress is progress. Once you start falling in love with the journey, with the progress, as opposed to like the end result, like the 20 pounds down, that's when you're actually gonna drop the pounds and the weight effortlessly, because you're not going to be so focused on the end result. You're going to be focused on the new habits that you're creating. You're going to be focused on the confidence that you're gaining. You're going to be focusing on how comfortable you're starting to feel in your skin. When you start falling in love with the process, that's when your life starts changing. Remember, this isn't a sprint. This is a marathon. It's going to take some time to get to know yourself, to know your habits, to become self-aware if you are not at the moment. but it's worth the time, because this is not only going to help you in your fitness, it's going to help you in your relationships, it's going to help you in your life, it's going to help you in your job, it's going to help you in all your life. Once you like start learning these skills, you're going to be unstoppable, you're going to be so empowered. It's like you could do anything. Okay, so I just wanted to leave you with that. Just remember that mindset is 99% of the battle. Once you got your mind right, the nutrition and the exercise will come effortlessly to you, okay? So I will talk to you in the next one.